It's not been a good week for Keir Starmer, as he has seen his top figures resign left, right and centre. First, we had the Cabinet Secretary Simon Case announce his resignation, and we also seen Sue Gray also step down yesterday. But it's getting a whole lot worse. In today's video, we will discuss it all, the imminent crisis vote in Parliament, and why the time for reckoning is here. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Firstly, Sue Gray, the former civil servant who served as Downing Street Chief of Staff, has resigned from her position. Number 10 has confirmed that Gray will take on a new role as the Prime Minister's envoy for nations and regions. The move comes after weeks of speculation about her role, following negative briefings in the media that overshadowed Labour's first party conference since its election victory in May. Gray's departure marks a significant shift in Keir Starmer's team, just months after Labour's victory at the polls. Richard Tice, leader of the Reform UK party, offered a scathing critique of the situation in an interview. He said, "I launched a word back in January of this year called Starmergeddon, a new word in the Oxford Dictionary. Little to no one realised that it would be Starmergeddon on steroids." Tice continued his criticism, stating, "What we've actually got is utter chaos that makes the chaotic Tory government look like a model of stability." He accused Labour of cronyism from top to bottom across government, from suits to glasses, suggesting deep-rooted issues within the party's transition to power. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, expressed gratitude for Gray's contributions. He said, "I want to thank Sue for all the support she has given me, both in opposition and government, and her work to prepare us for government and get us started on our programme of change." Starmer highlighted Gray's ongoing role, stating, "Sue has played a vital role in strengthening our relations with the regions and nations. I am delighted that she will continue to support that work." In her new position as envoy for regions and nations, Gray is expected to focus on strengthening Labour's connections across the UK. Gray's resignation and subsequent role change raise questions about the stability of Labour's transition to government. The move comes just months after the party's victory, potentially undermining confidence in Starmer's leadership team. Now, though, he has more problems, as there is going to be a rebellion in the House of Commons. This follows on from the announcement from Keir Starmer and David Lammy regarding the Chagos Islands. Recently, they revealed plans to transfer sovereignty of these islands to Mauritius, which is closely aligned with the Chinese Communist Party. Now, let's set aside the fact that the small community living on these islands wants to remain British and has no real ties to Mauritius. Historically, they've never belonged to Mauritius, making this a complex issue. The local people's wishes are being overlooked entirely. Consider Diego Garcia, the largest island in the Chagos archipelago, which serves as a strategic base for both the US and the UK. That's now in jeopardy. Meanwhile, there's mounting pressure on Parliament to vote on this matter. Interestingly, Lammy and Keir aren't exactly fans of the House of Commons. In a past interview, Starmer mentioned he prefers the World Economic Forum in Davos because it allows him more freedom with less accountability. Imagine if our world operated like that. The Tories, pretending to be the opposition, while showing no real opposition, are all over the map. A recent cartoon captures this perfectly. Lammy and Keir are on top, with Liz Truss and James Cleverly, who was the Foreign Secretary and originally proposed handing over Chagos sovereignty. Now they're all pretending to be outraged, blaming each other for this situation. But let's be clear. This idea didn't come from Labour. It originated with James Cleverly. It's a classic case of the uni party, where everyone points fingers while avoiding responsibility. As we move forward, it's clear that this dynamic will continue, especially with the Tories in opposition. We'll keep you updated as Parliament debates this issue because it'll be fascinating to see how the vote unfolds. What are your thoughts on this? And Keir Starmer? Let me know in the comments. In other news, Britain has the most illegal migrants than any other country in Europe, a new study has revealed. Research led by Oxford University experts found that there are up to 745,000 illegal migrants in the UK, accounting for 1 in 100 of the population. Britain's figures compare to the 300,000 illegal migrants in France and 700,000 in Germany, which has the second largest population of illegal migrants. It comes after 973 migrants in 17 small boats crossed the English Channel on Saturday, the highest number to arrive on a single day in 2024. A total of 26,612 migrants have crossed the Channel so far this year, which is up 5% on 2023 at the same stage. However, the total is behind the record of 33,611 at this point in 2022. Keir Starmer has been slammed by senior Tories after the Labour Party scrapped the Rwanda scheme. The government is facing calls to crack down on people smuggling gangs responsible for the crisis. James Cleverly, the Shadow Home Secretary, said, "We need to deter people from coming here illegally and to root them out of our economy when they are here." Labour has pledged to tackle the people smuggling gangs by setting up a border security command. Far from softening the response, this new government has increased returns of those living here illegally and set up a new border security command to relentlessly pursue the criminal smuggling gangs, making millions out of small boat crossings, undermining our border security and putting lives at risk. "We are getting a grip after the chaos of the last government's approach," a Home Office source told The Telegraph. The Tory leadership candidates are clinging on to the Rwanda partnership, which spent £700 million to send 4 volunteers. Perhaps it's time for them to learn from their mistakes, rather than simply doubling down. The research estimated the number of illegal migrants in the UK was between 594,000 and 745,000. Dennis Kieran's, senior researcher at Oxford's Compass Migration Centre, said it was vital for policymakers to know the scale, because these are people who are living and working in the UK, but who are operating outside the mainstream tax and benefits system. What that means is the state is missing out on their contributions to the public purse, while they end up at the fringes of society, at risk of exploitation and destitution. Lastly, King Charles's doctors are allowing him to pause his cancer treatment when he flies to Australia next week. The 75-year-old will undertake an official tour beginning on October 18th, visiting Sydney and Canberra, immediately followed by a state visit to Samoa, where he will attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, CHOGM. The monarch will continue his ongoing cancer treatment right up until he flies, but his doctors are happy for it to be briefly stopped while he is away, according to claims in the Daily Mail. The King will then pick up with his treatment cycle as soon as he returns to the UK. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.